Let's look for a filter on this YouTube thing. This YouTube is so weird. Oh, all the filters are ugly. How do I get out of here? Oh my god. It looks weird. Why does my skin look like that? What is this? Brother. Brother. What is that? I don't know what this is. It looks so weird. My skin looks blotchy. Anyways. Hello guys. Hello. So I just did my... Could you spray the bread again so it can be crispy once more? I am coming off of finally recording my YouTube trailer, which I had a mind to do. I just know I wanted a YouTube trailer for this channel. I'm also in makeup, which does not look good in this lighting, and I don't know why. I don't know why. My skin looks blotchy on here, but it is what it is. Excuse me. So I'm still in the makeup from earlier. I was doing content. This is the person that I am right now. It's so... I gotta stop saying it's so weird. It's like the new life that I'm living is that I have to jump into doing things like this and not think it's weird. You guys can jump on now and not think it's weird and just go with it, because God says I have messages to tell the world, and I do, and it's very important stuff. And I feel like it's incredibly important for me to do that. So please do not get used to me having makeup on. I don't know why it looks like this. I don't know why it looks like this. Anyways, please do not get used to me doing my makeup to do spiritual content. I think that spiritual content is just that. It's spiritual content. And I feel like I do not need to be glammed up, but I was already in the makeup. And every time I come on YouTube live, I look horrible. I do not look like this in real life. I do not look like this on any other camera. I do not look like this even on my natural phone camera. But when I come on YouTube, it looks horrible. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it is. But this is what's going on here. So anyway, let's talk. You guys, make sure that you're on, okay? Please. Thank you. Love you. I want to talk about energetic chords tonight. Energy chords. Before I start, tomorrow is Mother's Day. Okay? So I don't know if anybody here is has been trying to find their spirituality with the Holy Spirit, has taken any of my advice, my amazing advice, that this is an energy that you want to love and adore. I don't want to say you want to work with, because I don't want to give the impression that it's one of these deities that you start and stop with. This is a lifelong journey. She is a best friend. She is a, you know, for me, she's my mother. But I've heard people describe her as their best friend. You can search her up. When people say she's my best friend and then they stop and they get so like emotional, I understand that. That is who she is. I think about her energy all the time, and it is just, when I say a best friend, I mean, she doesn't just care about you ask for something and she gives it. She's like, no, you deserve better than what you're asking for. She will say, no, this is not good for you. What other deity does that? She is concerned about you. She's compassionate. She truly is a mother. It's an energy that you feel once and you need it forever. That's why it's for life. You feel her once and you have to have her forever for the rest of your life. And with people who carry her energy with them, when you feel their energy, you want her energy. It's like, you know, people who carry this energy with them, when you feel their energy, you're feeling a part of her. The closer you get to her, is the more you want to be like her, is the more you pick up her nature. And she is the most perfect person. I call her a person. She's that real to me that I've ever met. In the beginning of, I want to call a reintroduction, because this is not an energy that's new to me, but in the beginning of the reintroduction to her, I became very obsessed for a bit. I had to find my bearings. I would apologize to everybody else. Like, guys, just give me a chance. I am just very obsessed right now. I need some time. I just love her. She gifts me every holiday. Every holiday she gives me something. I'm in love with her surprises. She's always surprising me with things. And she gets me every time. I never expect it. It's things, sometimes it's things that if I were to mention to people, people would think like, who cares? It's not much. It's the fact that this energy keeps gifting you things that are so meaningful, that she knows you love. So it's a beautiful relationship. So if you have been exploring this relationship, she's the reason I got through gang stalking, period, point blank. I talk about God the Father as an energy that I feel like all of us are familiar with because of Christianity. Don't let it get too brown, because it's going to taste a little bit burnt. We're baking bread at this hour. What are we, like 1? Yeah, it's done. It's 1 p.m. We're baking bread. I don't know what it is. I always bake at night. Anybody who bakes, ask. You always want to bake something at night. It's very weird, but this is what we do. Anyway, what was I saying? If you are not new to my channel and you've been hearing about her, if you're struggling, if you're having days that are increasingly difficult, I encourage you, please reach out. This is a very gentle, loving energy when you are a devotee. She does not come off the same to people who are against you, and that is the reason sometimes she gets the reputation that she has. But when you are the one who is cradled in her arms, believe me, she has your best interests at heart. So Mother's Day is like Christmas for us. She's already gifted me for Mother's Day. I don't even want to talk about it. I love her so much. So just to talk a little bit about it, we got her, this is for the altar, we got her cards, but I also got cards for my grandmother as well, who's also on my altar, and then obviously mother cards for her. And everybody in the house writes her a card. We thank her. We're gonna pray to her tomorrow, spend time with her. We're gonna make her desserts. She loves roses, so we got her roses. We make really, really nice meals. If this world were a different world, I would show you my altar. I would show you what I make on my altar. I'm very particular about what I serve. I serve things that I like because I want my house to be the house that, you know, spirits come to and they're like, we want to go where the food's at. So I love to cook. I love to bake. It's a part of my love language. And obviously I'm going to give them the best. And sometimes I have to stop myself when I walk past the altar. I look at it all the time. I'm like, oh my God, you want to pick off of it. So I do like a lot of desserts. I do really nice meats, nice cuts of meat. I pair it with things. I pair it with salads. Like right now we just did dinner rolls. I'm going to cut those up nice and fresh, butter them up and add that to the meal. Like it's just a big deal for me. I suggest if you're going to go on this journey, you kind of have no choice. You kind of have to go on that journey. You have to, because you're in a tough spot. I just want to be upfront with it. This is not a transactional journey. This is a journey for life. It is nothing that, this is not a situation where you are being possessed by a spirit, even though you carry a spirit. You have to earn this every day. You have to remain worthy of it. Your heart has to remain clean, pure, and in the right place. She's going to push you to do things that are very hard. She's going to push you to be forgiving. She's going to push you and say, you're going too far down this path. You're going to be hateful. She reels you back. She stops you from doing things that are going to have repercussions. it's a mother. And if you never had a mother or never had an energy that was very mothering, you are going to know the true definition of what a mother is. So tomorrow is Mother's Day. I think it's a perfect day to start your relationship. It is tough. If you feel like you've been praying and you haven't gotten results, if you feel like you have hit a wall, even if you feel like you haven't, go through some of my emotional healing videos, spiritual videos. I talk about how to set up the altar. I continue to give tips and advice, and start your journey. Tomorrow is the perfect day, and let her know happy Mother's Day, because she is the quintessential mothering energy. She is what the Christians call the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. She is not just the Madonna or what we see as Mother Mary. She is real, and she will show you she's real. And she's known in Mexico as the quickest acting God spirit deity. She moves in real time. I mean, like, if you pray now, she will come now. 5 minutes, results. I'm not joking. I'm being serious. I used to be like, Ma, we're not having any sales for the day. Please help me, etc., etc. 5 minutes later, somebody walks in and buys $500 worth of stuff, $1,000 worth of stuff, $1,500 worth of stuff. You have no choice but to go in the back, get on your knees, thank her, and pray. She takes care of you. She is truly a mother. She is, my God, she's amazing. I favor her. I could gush forever, but I'm gonna stop here. I just want to really impress upon you, she has a huge issue with gang stalking. It's personal for her, and you can see it in the way that she protects you. She makes people respect you. And when this thing is done, I'm really going to give some very real stories that I don't want to go into right now. But please just trust me, set up an altar, pray, reach out, and let her know that you need help. And that's a big thing for me. So I'm going to get into energy chords tonight. So a little about my story for anybody who's new here. I have been being gang stalked to be a drug mule by the cartel. The actual cartel. That one. It has been initially obviously terrifying. Obviously you're scared for your life in the beginning, etc., etc., but spirituality has carried me through. Very real messages, very real love, very real support has changed the person that I am. I feel like I am a totally different person than I've ever been. Old me would not be on this camera talking on live to people at all. I am a totally different person. Very grateful for that. So my gang stalking functions a little bit differently. Even though I am being, or I want to say was being gang stalked to as a form of revenge, as a form of getting rid of me, then it turned into more so being gang stalked to be a drug mule. So not just being gang stalked to be discarded, but being gang stalked to stay in position. So the things that I'm going to discuss tonight is how they keep people in position in this process, how they keep you locked down, how you are entrapped. So a lot of this video is going to kind of mimic the tactics that they use in Hollywood to bind people, to keep people in place, to trap people. Believe me, a lot of these celebrities, if not most of them, anyone who's successful in Hollywood, I believe there is some form of entrapment in this way, and they've definitely experienced gang stalking. And after I went through gang stalking, I realized what gang stalking is. Like paparazzi following people, taking pictures of them, that's gang stalking. That's the simplest version of gang stalking. And to us, the public, we think it's legal, but they're hounding these people. They track them down, they find them no matter where they are, they hack them, they have things over them. It follows the same theme. So a lot of that is going to come out in what I talk about tonight. So energy chords. Energy chords are basically when you could think about it exactly like that. Chords that like latch onto your spiritual body, if you will, and make it very difficult for you to get away from situations. This is the same thing, whether being gang stalked to be a drug mule or not. It's the same kind of tactic that they use in all situations, because you will wonder why you cannot get out of this situation. So I'm going to highlight a couple of things. I have 10 points, and under each main point is a bunch of different things that I'm going to explain. So number one is relationships. That's the first one. So under relationships, we're going to talk about spouses, or I would call them fake spouses that they implant in your life, relatives, family, friends, employees, staff. I differentiate employees and staff differently. Employees are, say, like I had a store, I had employees, people that you're distant from, you don't know them. I call staff people like makeup artists, hairstylists, people that would come to your home, people that would, say, come and detail your car at your house, like personal services like that, people that are very close to you, that have access to you. So staff, relatives, customers, even children, basically anyone. They use these people for information. They use these people to influence you and influence your decisions, to create chaos when they're ready, and to control you through repetition. So essentially what happens is they plant people into your life, any kind of people. So say family are already in your life. What they're going to do as far as family goes is they're going to approach your family first. They're going to date your family. They're going to start relationships with them. They're going to become friends with them. They're going to surround them. And then they're going to influence these people's minds against you. They're going to put you in a situation where you start having chaos within your family. They're going to start rumors or bad blood or contention in your friend groups. They're going to come in employed by you and gossip about you with the other staff members. They're going to send you the makeup artists that are already working with them, the hairstylists, the whatever staff that are already working with them. They send these people to work for you. And now you find that these people are influencing you. They're being weird. Let me give you an example. So Kathy Hilton was getting her makeup done backstage for she's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now I don't know if they're men here, you may or may not know who this is, and that's okay. Excuse me. She is the wife of somebody Hilton. They own the Hilton hotel chain, Paris Hilton's mother. And she was on makeup she was on live getting her makeup done, and they were asking her very personal questions about her sister, and she gave very personal information, and she said, normally I wouldn't say that. And the makeup artist goes, but you did. And she's like, yeah, but I did. And I recognize that as a very seasoned gang stalking relationship, a very seasoned relationship where someone has very good influence over you. Hold on, Safi, do you want any bread?
I'll take some a bit later.
Could you guys just butter 3 rolls for me and then just put them on the thing? Thanks. I recognize that as a gang stalking relationship right away, because that's what they do. They want to come in, they want to get a position of influence with you right away. They come in and they start off the relationship almost like they want to take you under their wing. They don't know you, and they gaslight you. They put you down. It's a lot of backhanded compliments, and they coach these people on how to do that. Personally, with me, no one was able to be my handler, because I'm just going to be honest with you. I just didn't see how this person was going to lord over me. I felt like they were just desperate. They were just finding anyone off the street. These were not my kind of people, and these were not people that I respected. And like, for me, I'm a person who has very high standards, so it's probably hard to find people that I'm going to respect, only because I really have to respect the way that you live your life. And I just didn't. These were like girls off the street. These were street level girls, and I'm a grown woman. I'm an adult. I'm a mother. I'm a business owner, and they need Oprah to influence me. Like, let's just put it that way. I'm being very honest. They need Oprah. or something like that. You know, I need to really admire someone. They don't have people that can be my handler. So that was just never going to work with me personally. A couple of reasons why it didn't work with me: I am not very close to my family. You can call me a black sheep. I feel like I've never really 100% fit in with my family. Like, I feel like my family and I, like, we kind of tolerate each other, but we're two different, like, mindsets, people. It's easy for me to believe that they're not really my family. Like, put it that way. I don't have many friends. A lot of the reason is I just never felt like I belonged in wherever I always found myself. I just never felt like I fit in 100%. And that's okay. I'm very tolerant of people. I like people. It's just that we are different. Our values are different. And so I was just never close to anyone. And again, like, I never had anyone around me that I could say that I look up to, that I'm influenced by. And so it just never worked for me. When staff start to disrespect me or make me feel like I'm small in my own business, I get rid of them. And I have a one strike policy. Like, the first time someone violates me, you gotta go. And that's not for everybody. I'm biased. There are people who get 2 and 3 strikes, but it's few and far between. And I'm just a person that I don't let people in at all. And even like if I let people in, like, arm's length, so that's why it has been extremely difficult with me, is I like my alone time. I'm too busy and I'm too focused on things that I have to focus on. And I'm a Virgo, so I'm a hermit. I like to be alone. I like to stay alone. It's very hard to get into my life. No matter how amazing you are, it's nothing personal at all. It's just how some people are. So I'm one of those people. I don't know, maybe I'm like a 1% or something. I don't find satisfaction or energy from human interaction. Maybe some people, very few people in the world. And like, so I'm a particular kind of person that just is not suited to that kind of energy harvesting. I get drained by people even if I love them and had a great time. And so to put somebody around me that is going to gaslight and like say cruel things to me, it's not gonna work for me. I couldn't wait to get rid of them anyway. If you are a person who, most people derive a lot of their happiness from other people, from engaging with people. If you are one of these people, it's going to be very difficult for you to like survive in a world where you're mostly by yourself. You know, for people like me, that's very easy, but for the majority of the world, you have to know that it's okay to be alone for a while. You have to not be ashamed of that. I felt guilt about that my entire life. I felt like something was wrong with me. This is for your self-preservation. If you stay around them, they have the ability to influence you in ways, to gaslight you, to tell you that things are in your head. Say a little prayer before you put it down, okay? To tell you that things are in your head. You gotta let go of these relationships. I think that gang stalking sometimes comes in your life to clear out your old life completely, to get rid of everything that was previously there. It sucks, it's hard, because you build attachment in these relationships. Nobody wants to let their family go. My father was my best friend up until I had to let him go. I had to release him as well. So sometimes it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. So let's talk about outside of family. They plant people in. A lot of times the people that they plant in don't even know that they're plants. These people don't even know that there is a higher force behind it. They don't know that there is an invisible hand kind of controlling. They think they're coming into your life because somebody said, hey, I have someone to introduce you to, or you're gonna like this person, etc., etc. And it's not necessarily the case. They come into your life, they cause a lot of chaos, they cause a lot of conflict. They take information back, they ask you a lot of personal questions, they dig into you. And in my case, these are the people that introduce you to drug muling. They're the people that kind of influence you to, oh, just try it. Oh, come on a trip with me. Oh, I was invited on a private jet to go to Nigeria. And first of all, I was like, what? How many stops? Is this like a straight flight? Do I need to put it on gas? And I was like so frumpy back then because all I did was work. and I baked and cooked and did. I really looked like a mom, like a soccer mom. Like I was like, what am I doing on a private jet? It's not cheap, and am I there to serve the drinks? I just didn't believe that it made sense for me to be there. And the girls that were trying to like gather around me to be friends with me, it didn't make sense. They were like the Botox girls with the fake boobs, with the surgery and all of that. I'm a mother, okay? I don't live that lifestyle. I want to be home by like 7, 9 o'clock max. I don't want to come outside. I'm in pajamas. So it didn't make sense. It didn't fit. I didn't go. I learned a lot about like social media, and I can tell what's going on when I see people who cannot afford private jets on private jets all the time. When I see people doing solo travel, when I see people always like this, these are things that are paid for, and they're traveling to carry drugs. These are not your local influencer who dates rappers does not make enough for a $25,000 trip. I'm just saying, it is what it is. So they plant people for information. They also have people around you to influence you, and people influence you by, you get in a relationship with someone, which is what happened to me. You get in a relationship and they keep telling you things about this person. Oh, this person's not perfect, so I can only talk about what was said to me about my ex. Oh, he's not perfect. Oh, he's this. Oh, you don't know about him. Oh, and these are from people who shouldn't know him at all. So it was very brave of them to say, he's not perfect. He's not as perfect as you think. Because it's like, well, how do you know him? The person I was back then would just think these things and would analyze these things and wouldn't actually say these things to people. The person I am now would ask you, how would you know what he's like if you don't know him? So it was very obvious that these people were plants. It was very obvious that these people came around for a very specific purpose, which was to break the relationship apart. And that's what they do. And I'm pretty sure they were doing a lot of that on his end as well. And they did end the relationship. So obviously they're seasoned in what they do. They create chaos when they're ready. Every time you do not do what it is that they want you to do, they start slandering you. They create chaos in relationships. They even try to put you in situations where, and this is more like a street gang, so they're not opposed to violence and things like that. There are particular situations where they try to put me in situations where girls try to beat me up, like just create issues. And that would have been a huge mistake. So it's a good thing for them that that didn't happen. That would have been a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Bigly, like Donald Trump says, bigly. I don't like people putting their hands on me. That's crazy. I'm not a fighter. I've never been in a fight in my life. I'm like a sewer. I'm like a lawsuit person. I'm like publicly put you in the newspaper person. Like, that's me. I sound like it. I look like it because I am it. I don't fight. That would have been a big mistake, and that would have made that situation a lot more apparent right away, because that girl was a coward. As soon as I told her I was going to make a police report, she was, I don't even want to go into it. But anyways, they put people in position to do these things, and they feel like they can intimidate you through these relationships, and you really have to be strong. You have to have strong boundaries, and you have to make sure that you are always ready and willing to defend yourself in every situation. I do not like people playing games with me at all, and I make that very clear. They control you through repetition. So I'll give you an example. We had a 4,000 square foot store, and we were waiting for our signs to be approved. And you could only have like a neon sign, a certain size. This was going to cost 10 grand. So I got the quote and everything, and they wanted me to waste money, to expend my money, to go through my savings. So what happens is everybody that comes in says, oh, we couldn't find the store. We couldn't find the store. You should put a sign up. You should put a sign up. You should put a sign up. And everybody's saying this. And this is how you know who the gang stalkers are. The people who come in saying that. Because the people who come in that are not saying that, you're like, oh, how did you find the store? They're like, it's easy. It's like right there. Because it was like down a cul-de-sac, and our store was the direct one at the end of it was like sitting at the head of a table. It was like the direct one when you drive into the cul-de-sac. It was the first one. There's no way you couldn't see the store unless you're like doing it on purpose is what I'm going to say. All right. So that's what they do. They repeat things over and over until you start thinking those are your thoughts. So you really have to look at situations, and that's what they do when they gaslight as well. If there's something about you that they want to make you feel insecure about, they'll keep repeating like, oh, let's say if you're fat, oh, you're fat, oh, you're fat, oh, you're fat, until you start thinking there's some type of issue with you being fat, or some type of issue with you being whatever it is that you are that has never been an issue before. So you have to look at the relationships that you have. And I want to say, when you're being gang stalked, you can't have any relationships. It is the safest place to be, is to have spiritual relationships and the human relationships, even if it's a spouse, if it's a wife, if it's a husband. You guys have to be pretty strong to last, because they come in, they will sleep with your spouse. They will sleep with your spouse. They will be friends with your friends. They will do all kinds of things, and then you'll start noticing everything is going down all at the same time. So be very careful. And they will also gang stalk people to go against you. So the good ones that you have, the ones who have some morals. Can you pass me my lip gloss, the pink one? The good friends you have who have morals, who are good people, they force these people to turn against you. Some of the best people in my life, they gang stalk these people as well. People that supported me, their life started falling apart, their businesses fell apart, all kinds of things happened, and this is just how they work. So be very careful. Avoid relationships at this time. That's the truth. Contracts of any sort are dangerous when you're being gang stalked. Give me a second, my lips are dry. So when you're negotiating contracts and these people are in your life, they're looking to hook into you through any kind of contract. It could be a lease for a house. It could be a mortgage renewal, which I went through. My mortgage renewal was so ridiculous that I was shocked that I was able to manage it within this is just all gone. 5 figures for this mortgage. That's how they influence the mortgage broker. Every time I think I went through 5 or 6, maybe even 7 mortgage brokers before I found that broker. And I had to trust my gut the whole way through, and I was refusing people because they got weird. They were weird with me the entire way through. And I could tell like it wasn't a good situation. It's a big house, and I could not afford to be dealing with the wrong mortgage broker. He got everything done very well, thank God, but it was very expensive. It could be any kind of contract. These contracts that you're going to find yourself in, they're always going to be binding contracts with these people for whatever reason. They're going to be unfair contracts with hidden motives. There's always going to be some hidden motive in the contract, and they're going to be punitive clauses. So the clauses they're going to be painful to get out of. It's going to be something where it's going to cost you some money, or it's going to penalize you in some way, or they're going to try to sue you or something. It's going to be very threatening. It's going to be nonsensical. It's going to be expensive to exit these contracts. And I don't know why I have... Oh, they're going to be contracts that you're going to find that are going to be too good to be true. So it's like things that are gifted that you didn't necessarily earn. Like you didn't necessarily earn this contract. You didn't necessarily earn this kind of deal. But here you are kind of getting it. I'll give an example. If you see my Instagram inbox on my business, I have Real Housewives messaging me first without me reaching out to them. Names that you would know. I have stylists for artists that are huge artists out there. Their stylists are reaching out to me, liking my post, commenting under it. The engagement is so bad that I don't get a single like under every picture, but these people somehow found my page. These are contracts that are not going to be earned. They're going to be gifted, and these are going to be people that are high enough, famous enough. You're not being given that contract so that you can succeed. They don't like your business. They don't want your business to grow. They're giving you the contract, so they're gonna be able to slander you in high places. It's meant to punish you if you don't stay in line. So the day you step out of line and they've given you that deal, that relationship, they can go to that artist or to other people and be like, don't work with that brand, don't deal with them, I dealt with them, look, here's the pictures of us together. They always want to get evidence of a picture together, a video together, some sort of evidence of knowing you, a screenshot of a conversation. So I don't even respond to these people when they message me. I read it, I don't respond. They want some sort of relationship, you to post them in your clothing or them to post the clothing and tag you or something where they can go forth and slander you, so you cannot grow in that environment that you're looking to be in. You have to be able to say no. A lot of other businesses in my place would have loved to say, Cardi B's makeup artist reached out to me. Sonia Morgan from Real Housewives of New York. What's the name of that guy that sang that song, Old Dusty Road? The black guy who sang the country song. Maddie. Don't be rude. I have a teenager. Do you know the name of that guy, Safi, that sang Old Dusty Road? Old Town Road? Lil Nas X, his stylist reached out to me. Listen, I haven't made it yet enough. I'm suspicious of things like this because it doesn't make sense. If Beyonce reached out, I might have considered it, but I don't know. I still wouldn't have. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm a person who, I grew up in the Caribbean, and growing up, you know, they believe in a lot of black magic. They believe in a lot of these things. And so you raise little girls in such a way that you teach them not to be money hungry. The opposite of what they do over here. So you always tell your little girl, if she's walking down the road and it's a hot day and she's far from home and a car drives by slowly and says, hey, would you like a ride? No, because he's going to give you a ride and he's going to want a ride. So you're trained to think about the fact that there's always a blank check for everything that someone offers you. So you're trained to be, at least in my family, you're trained to be hardworking and to take care of yourself. So anytime someone gives me things or suggests that they have money or that they're in a great position, I know what they're trying to do. I'm automatically suspicious. It turns me off. I'm not interested because I cannot be bought. And that's been trained into me. I'll do something for someone for free out of the love in my heart, but you're not going to buy me or hold strings over my head or tell me that you did this for me. People give you freebies and take care of you so that later on when they're ready to ask you for the thing that they always planned on asking you for, they can guilt you with it. But, oh, I thought we were sisters. It's like one of the girls that they sent to my store. So my store was in a mall and there was another store and they made this girl work at that store. And she comes to my store, makes some fake friendship with me. And I say that there's these Christmas decorations that I really like. And she came over one day and she bought it and she put it in my store. She's supposedly some sort of visual merchandiser. I thought we hated the job she did. It was horrible. It didn't make sense. We changed everything. She coincidentally, since I moved, is now working down the street here. They've all followed me. I spot them around here, all over here. This place is crawling with gang stalkers. They are getting the security guards in on it, everything, and everybody is going to pay a cost for doing that if they already are. Anyway, let's move on. So she came in, and as soon as she purchased those things, I remember the bill was like 99 bucks. She made sure she kept the receipt in the bag, and I made sure that I emailed it back to her immediately. She tried to redo my store for like some ridiculous amount. So that store, to stage that store, I think a professional charged me like $3,000, and she wanted to do it for $200, and I gave her more than she asked for, and then she was still complaining that it wasn't enough. We did the bulk of the work, the bulk of the moving. She didn't give us any plans, any like sketches, anything. It wasn't professional, and she still wanted to complain, and I kind of knew where it was going because I deal with people like that all the time. They give you in the left, and they take away. It's like give a little to get a lot, and I don't do that. So I had to fight this girl to get her email address to send her the money back, because I am not interested in owing anyone. This is how you have to move in the world, not just with gang stalkers, but with people in general, because that's how they work. And they always want to work with giving you an offer you cannot refuse. They always want an offer that you cannot refuse. I can refuse all offers because I don't need your crap. I don't want it. I don't care. I can work for it, and I probably have better myself, because these are not like, I don't know what to say. But anyways, so wasn't interested, was not interested. So be careful of these contracts. I've gotten myself into leases that were riddled with clauses that were difficult to get out of. Be careful not to sign up for long-term things. You're looking at leases where, whether it's for stores, whether it's for like rentals or whatever, you need things that you can get out of. If you're being gang stalked, I would say stay away from contracts for the interim. But if it cannot be helped, read every line 3 times. There's going to be multiple loopholes. When I was selling my home, I'm going to have to make a whole video about selling my home, how they tried to steal that house from me and make me walk away with nothing. It needs its own video. These people are dirty. They're underhanded, and they're meant to make you take a loss. I think somewhere in their head, they think they built my business, even though I did all the hard work. They sent a lot of business, but they know that they're not responsible for my success, my highest grossing months. Anyway, not going to go into it, but you got to be careful of these people. Do not do business with them. They're not doing business with you for good reasons. It's always to knock things out of your hands. They're slandering you while they're doing business. They're leaving bad Google reviews. They're horrible, 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 horrible people. They are friend to no one, not even themselves. There's confusion at the very top. There's hatred coming from the top, flowing down to the bottom. Nothing about it is good. So this is my official stance on it, and I can only warn people. It is what it is. It's the truth. The third one, expenses and liabilities. They put energetic cords in you with expenses and liabilities. So the big houses, the fancy cars, the businesses that need constant upkeep and funding. They want you 100% financially dependent on them, so much that if you have any sort of independent traffic coming in, independent clients that are not theirs, independent income sources of income, they will knock it out of your hands. These are tyrants, and they're demonic. They are totalitarian in the way that they want to control you. They want to control completely so they can obliterate you completely. They want you to have no support outside of them. They gather around you as a community. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. When I was younger, I worked for a company, and they told me, one of the directors, he was joking, but he was dead serious. He said, we prefer to hire middle-aged people because they have expenses, and we know that they're going to stay with us. And you younger guys, you guys could just pick up and go at any time. And I remember when I bought my car, I guess they thought it was financed. It wasn't financed. It was bought out cash. But when I bought my car, he said to me, I'm so happy you got that car. You know, now you have a little bit of expenses, so you know, you have some responsibility. That is what I mean. They get you in their ranks. They get you in the contract. And now you say, oh, I'm doing well. And you go buy a big house. You go buy a nice car. You go do all of this stuff. And now you're dependent on the lifestyle, and you're dependent on the income. And so now it becomes very tough to leave, because the first thing you're worrying about is, well, if I leave, I'm going to lose everything. And that is what they want. They say that the only way you can leave them is with nothing. I say to you, if the only way you can leave is with nothing, then leave with nothing. It's worth it to leave with nothing. They trap people in there. They manipulate people to get in there. People don't even know what's going on. And that's the worst way to be in anything, is like not even knowing that something is going on and you're in a very bad situation. So there's that. The fourth way that they entrap you is with information. So any sort of past crimes, any sort of embarrassing situations, any sort of rumors, they want it to be true, but they're not above fabricating it if they can't find anything. Any sort of videos or evidence, if they can get cameras in your house, if they can get revenge porn against you, illegally record you in the nude, knowledge of your life and your past, they dig as far as they have to. And if that means going to another country, they will get on the plane and they will go. Put nothing past them. Nothing. Knowledge of your personality, your triggers, your sweet spots, what will motivate you, what you will go for. They want to push you into crimes very early on. With the first girl who tried to be my handler, tried to convince me to lie on my taxes. She's like, but you're not going to be honest, right? And I'm like, why? First of all, it's none of your freaking business. Secondly, why? Why would I? They want to know what things you're doing that are no good, so that they've spent quite a bit of time in the past trying to put me in jail and find something on me that they can stick on me to make me take a fall. They are not past fabricating it if they can get away with it. In fact, on my hydro bill, I remember I was closing down an account and they're like, we have another phone number on here. And I was like, what phone number is that? And they read out the number. They're like, do you not know this number? And I'm like, I never put that on my account. So they were cooking something up. They were cooking something up. Me selling the house was very impromptu, and I'm sure there was a plan. So there's someone right now that spirits are lynching into him and ripping every gut out of his asshole because of the kind of things that he tried to do. That man really would have tried to put me in jail for a long time for no reason. Be careful. These are monsters. I am not saying it lightly. Please. They have you under 24-hour surveillance. And you know, when I say isolate from these relationships and isolate from these people, I mean isolate from these people. These people have a plan 24/7. While you're relaxing, they're slamming their heads together, thinking of something new to do. And what they have in mind is treacherous. This is not a game. And every time you hear about gang stalking, you always hear about people trying to put people in jail, because that's what they do. That's one of their number one things that they want to do. So please be careful. So they like to use information against people. And I feel like it's no different from like Hollywood, where you hear people, okay, Diddy, you have to wonder. People say, oh, maybe his Illuminati check didn't go through. That's not far from the truth. Maybe the society doesn't even have a name. Maybe it doesn't call itself the Illuminati, but there's some sort of society that you're in, and you're expected to participate in everything that they participate in. You're expected to meet their agendas. And if you don't, they punish you and it becomes a takedown. So all the people that were in your life before that they planted, now there's lawsuits and people are coming, taking swipes at you left and right. You start losing all the homes. You start losing everything until you get back in line. It's no different. This is how it goes. And sometimes maybe they're not trying to take you down completely, but they're trying to prove a point to you through aggressive action. You realize very quickly you have no friends there. And they will turn your children against you. They will turn spouses against you, anyone. So you got to be careful with these people. And you have to have relationships with your family that is like rock solid. You know, if you have a spouse, hopefully you have a good spouse. Because if your spouse is not a good person, you're in for it. That divorce is going to take half of you. It's going to take everything out of you. It's going to be horrible on purpose. So they will turn friends against you. Anybody, spiritual leaders, priests, doctors, whoever. They promise them something, again, a deal that they cannot refuse. They love when people are broke. So I have to be frank. Try to be friends with people on your level. If you're associating with people who have less than you, who are jealous, They're going to be the first ones that's going to sign a dirty deal for 50 cents. You got to learn to be with people who are of your same caliber so that it is expensive for people to betray you. They're still going to lie and tell them if it's going to cost 50,000 to betray you, they're still going to tell them it's going to cost 50,000 and they're never going to get paid. I don't think a lot of these people ever get paid. These people just get sucked in, gang stalk themselves, and to hell with them. Be careful. The fifth thing, with an income, they control your inflow of money and they turn off the tap at will. Let me explain this. So you're in a situation where they're giving you the income you don't even know. They're the person doing your marketing. They're the person doing your website. They beg you to do these things. They've begged me to do my website, begged me to do my SEO, begged me to give me photographers. A photographer comes and shows me $300,000 of equipment in the back of his van. And he did the ad campaign for Guess USA. This is a man that I know has money, and you can tell from his disposition. What is he doing in my little store offering me his services? Why? I didn't call him. Actually, no, I found him. I found him online. And he was going to do it for next to nothing. And I'm like, how much does Guess pay you? And I think he told me Guess paid him like something insane. It's in the hundreds of thousands. I can't afford somebody like that. So the answer is no. Always no. Fair trade. I like fair trade. I don't like nonsense. So they like to control your income. And if something is going to happen, then the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to take away all the people that were, so the photographer's not coming. Everybody's going to bail on you. The website can't get done anymore. This can't get done. The marketing person is doing this. They're going to bleed you dry. They're going to raise their prices. They're going to be hostile all of a sudden. Guess what? My makeup, my hair, everything, it's done internally. My website, my marketing, my brand, everything is internal. We're going to learn photography to do our own photography. We're going to learn everything. Nobody is welcomed. That is it. That is all. That is the end of it. Because I don't like to be controlled. I don't listen. That's it. I cannot be controlled and I don't listen. And my mother's told me that I don't have to listen anyway. I don't have to be nice to them, so I don't care. So this is the mentality that you have to take. And sometimes if you have to leave something behind to gain your freedom, it's freedom over everything. Any money that you cannot enjoy is poisonous. Anything that looks good, but in the yolk of it, on the inside of it, it represents something you cannot enjoy. It is poisonous. Therefore, you gotta leave it alone. You have to walk away from it and feel nothing. All these big people that I turned down, these are slaves. These are future gang stalkers. These are people that are going to cause chaos in my life. I don't feel like I lost anything. I feel like I dodged bullets. That's how you have to look at them. It's like marrying a gold digger. It doesn't matter how good it looks on your arm. When the divorce happens, it will take more from you than you bargained for. So, you didn't lose anything. And that's how you have to look at it. You want income that you earned that is yours fair and square, and not that people can affect. The other thing is spiritually, from a spell work aspect point of view. When people mix their money with your money, they can affect your money. So when God blocks your money, it's for your best interest. When people purchase from you and mix your money with their money is cursed because it's blood money. Drug money is inherently cursed because people are murdered, gang stalked, there's violence, there's spell work, there's spiritual laws that are broken for generations. They are on the opposite side of the Most High. The money is dirty. The money brings suffering. It brings anxiety. So when you have that money, you lose all the love in your life. You lose your good friendships. You lose the true happiness that you had. You lose your freedom. You lose your peace of mind. And all you have is that disgusting money that doesn't grow. All money is not good money. Some money cannot grow. If you purchase a home, it doesn't build equity. You can't sell the home. You lose the home to foreclosure. It's the kind of money that doesn't stay. Because what they do is they get this money and they transfer it to you, and the money transfers karma. So as soon as you touch the money, you get their karma, and they take from you the goodness in your life. And that is the way that they can have anything. That's how they can get a marriage. That's how they can get someone who actually loves them. And people like that have to come to terms that they'll never have love because they've done too much dirty stuff. Their children are always going to be sick. There's always going to be a problem. Children born into these families are born into this negative karma. Just by these children being friends with your children are turning into sexually loose kids, not doing good in school, have learning disability, like all kinds of things, because it's coming with karma. You must isolate, you must stay away. Having kids with these people brings problems in your life, on and on and on and on. This is how it works. They know that's how it works, and they transfer karma with you. So you got to be careful with who you take money from. It's just like with sex. You got to be careful who you sleep with. People transfer energies with you because money is an energy exchange, and people use it like that. They pay you money and it disrupts your business. It disrupts your life. You got to be careful of that. They control your image / your branding, and they build you up so that they can always destroy you. So they give you sort of like this false sense of success, that you've accomplished something, and you work with all these celebs and you do all of this stuff and whatever. And let me tell you, they only had these celebs contact me because they couldn't get me to agree to anything. So they had to try to get their biggest and their best. These people's platforms are disabled. It doesn't matter if they have followers or not. They're all gang stalkers. They're in some group, some big Telegram group, and they're like, we're not sending any likes or any engagement to this person, and they could have 3 million followers and you're not going to get 1 like, 1 post, 1 nothing. They want to build up your image, build up that sense of security, build up that life, build up how people look at you, and they can knock you down at any day. So you can be a millionaire today, a multi-millionaire today, but once you're under that umbrella, you could be nothing tomorrow. You got to be careful of them and isolate. And that's all I can say. And make sure that your image, and even though you're the one doing the hard work, waking up early, going to bed late, doing the sweat, having the sweat equity, still they're taking credit for all your work, because at the end of the day, they're disabling your engagement, they're disabling your reach, and they're giving everything to you. They're giving you the income, and that's all they care about. And as you try to rebuild, they're on every platform trying to destabilize everything that you do. My channel should have way more followers by now. They kick people out of my lives. They do a whole bunch of stuff to try to stop me from giving people good information, giving people helpful, advice. This is the world that we live in. So there's that. They control you through your public image. And obviously anybody who's built up a reputation, a public image, a celebrity, you don't want to lose that. No one wants to fall off. In my city, I look like I've fallen off. I was arguably, and I'm not going to argue or debate it, we were the best boutique in the city, hands down. Most popular, the one that people loved. There were others that but those girls hated me, and they hated me for a reason, because of how well we were doing. People hated that about me. Very charismatic, very creative, and always doing well. And they felt like they built me, but a lot of my clientele was always these kinds of girls. And, it is what it is. So we're doing what Biden said, and we're building back better at this point. So it is what it is. Number 7, spiritual cords, which is a big one. So they use soul ties or soul bindings. I'm going to explain what that is. Definitely demonic entities. I'm going to explain that as well. Monitoring spirits. Going to damn well explain that as well. They infect everyone around you that is in your natural network. So it's a little bit about what I touched on initially. They use societies, witch covens, whether you know it or not, they do. And they like to be close to you to prey down on you. So let's start with soul ties and soul bindings. Without your knowledge, I've talked about this before. There are candles that you can buy, and one looks like a woman and one looks like a man, and they put it on the altar and they say a prayer. They let it burn for 7 days, and that's how they bind somebody to themselves. That is a soul binding. This makes it so that you cannot get away from them. It's permanent, and I feel like this is something that is not just one lifetime either. I've talked about that. I don't think people understand that part when they do soul bindings. So you end up with all these attachments to you and you can't get away from them. This is what allows them to suck every bit of success that you have from you. If you have the help of a God that loves you, a loving God, this God themselves will block your success so that you don't achieve success, and you're sitting down here crying, well, why haven't I reached my peak? Why haven't I gotten my success? That's because you're binded to an energy that would be able to suck that from you. So they block it from you until it's safe to proceed. So I talk about soul bindings on my community part of my channel. This is something, a soul tie, a soul binding is something that you want. Only God should do that for you. This is not something that men and women should decide. So if you're in the cartel, you have soul ties into you, and they're going to find you. They're always going to find you. They're always going to latch onto you. That's number one. Demonic entities, I talk about, they attach things to you right away. So they're going to send sex demons to you, incubus demons, succubus demons, depending on if you're male, female, otherwise. They're going to control you through these entities. They're going to send energies that cause rage. They're going to send energies that cause anger issues that they're going to activate. I see people struggling in their body that I've dealt with. 1 minute they're agreeable and a little bit scared and nervous, and the next minute they're on demon time. They switch back and forth between these energies. Let me tell you, I've been in my store, and my store was nicely protected spiritually, and I would see entities and energies around outside when people would come into the store. The energies, the spirits would not cross the lines of protection. People would walk in, and whatever they were holding on their vessel would still be on their vessel, because in the vessel it's kind of insulated. Then the ones that kind of follow you, these are monitoring spirits that physically follow people around. They see who you're around. They see when success is coming. They know when you start praying. They know when you're meditating, and these energies communicate that back to the source that sent them. And this is how they know everything that you're doing. They know everything that you're thinking. People say things like, well, I don't have my phone on me and they can still track me. Well, that is through divination. That is through monitoring spirits. If you have a monitoring spirit on you, you need to pray that off of you immediately. It is very hard to fight the possession. Once you go cartel, you're going to have a sex addiction, male or female. You're not going to care about yourself. You're just going to sleep with all kinds of people. You're going to know that you do. You're going to be turned on by everything. People know that, and it's very hard to fight these energies off of them. And it's something that needs to be done. It's a hard thing. So coming out of this thing is not easy. It's not just about losing everything. It's about fighting your way through, and you have to be very, very strong. They surround you so tightly. It's like they make rings of people around you, and they keep adding and like just to have you binded in there really, really tough. So please be careful. Demonic entities, they will try to they did this with me multiple times. They send entities to me that I had to fight off, and God let me fight off some of them myself. It is not freaking easy. You feel it. You know when something's wrong. Well, I did. I knew when something was wrong. I had to pray that off. Not easy. These people are terrifying, and they did it. They tried to redo it multiple times. So if you're not a person, maybe you're not spiritually aware. God made me feel it so I can come and tell you. You'll be at home, 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody's dropping an entity, and you feel it. It's like you feel it dropping in like that. And then you feel something is off from there. And maybe I'll talk about one day how you fight that crap off of you. You need to do it immediately. This is not something you leave on you, not for 15 minutes. I may have work in the morning, but I get up and I have to get that off of me immediately. Praying it off plus other means. I have to do a whole video on it by itself. So I'm going to go into that another day. They infect everybody around you with the same thing, with the lust demons, with the energies, with the monitoring spirits, with everything. With everything. They're in constant divination, listening to everything you say. People can watch you remotely. They can literally, it's almost like seeing like a hole bursting into your life, and they see through it and they can see what you're doing. So it's like that. What people call V2K and what they call all, that's how it works spiritually. And it's a gift that people have. And I feel like these gifts, they come from entities and energies around people. And when the entity leaves, it takes the gift with it, more than likely. But people go to these energies, to these demons, and these things give them gifts, and they can see these kind of things. And, you know, so just like be careful. The societies and the covens, you can hire a society or you can hire a coven of witches to fight you down. They will prey on you night and day. They will do things against you night and day. It is a very dangerous situation. I was in that situation for quite some time. One person, and it was round the clock. What you call V2K, I was hearing people talking to me in my sleep. I was hearing voices, all of that. Only I knew this was spiritual. I didn't think it was like any military technology or anything like that. These things are actually happening to people. So that is one of the things that people face. Number 8, they drain your energy through chaos. So they start dropping bombs around you to disturb your peace. Multiple at a time. I strongly believe that these people have a list of things, and it's almost like they categorize it. Like the biggest ones they save for when you're really making progress, and then you're going to get messages, emails, mails in the pieces of mail in the mail that are going to make your heart sink. If you have kids with someone, they're going to use the person to destroy your peace, and they are masters of destroying peace. I block all access to me. I don't care. Like right now, tonight, they have a lady that I rent something from. Right before I started doing some filming, almost midnight, this lunatic is messaging me. Almost midnight is messaging me. This kind of stuff that they do, I ignore it because I'm sleeping, ma'am. I don't know what would make you want to disturb my peace right now. I have things to do. Bye. And that's how you have to deal with people. You don't have to respond to anything on any emergency basis. People can go somewhere. Lunatic. Child support cases, custody battles, social services battles, lawsuits, old criminal cases, past debts popping back up, slander, gossip, lying on you, causing problems with people that you don't even know, that you don't talk to, disruption, calling you from fake numbers, lies. Problems are going to come out of nowhere. It's all them. Close the door on all of them. You don't have to deal with any of it. You know, I'm a different person. And I'll tell you why I'm a different person. If I don't have a child in my custody and you're trying to use a child against me, I will tell you, keep the child. I'll stun you and I'll tell you, keep the child. And you'll say, well, I'll take you for child support. And I say, if you go to court with me, I will sign away legal rights to this child, and you will be responsible for this kid for the rest of your life. What do you want to do? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Because I will just relinquish all parental rights. You will not control me by any means. I am willing to let go of anything that destroys my peace. I'm a different person, and I'm a mother saying that. But I will not allow myself to be used as a pawn. And that's what they do, and you can see it. You will not be threatening me to take a child away and think it's gonna work with me. Okay? No, goodbye. And if you contact me after I sign away parental rights, I'm gonna sue you in court for harassment, and I'm gonna start coming after you. Do you understand that? Be careful, stupid. That's it. That's how you deal with those kinds of problems. You make sure people understand that they will lose access to you for crossing over a line. End of story. And the social workers, you keep tabs on them, you document all interactions, and you personally sue them. Personally. It's all fun and games until people get court papers in the mail. Everything's funny until someone has to hire a lawyer with the 50 grand that they're being paid a year. Do not put up with nonsense. Ever. There was this lady who tried to recruit me, and then this lunatic started texting me all night long, threatening me and all this. I said, what's her name? Lillian? Jillian? I said, Jillian, you've never worked a day in your life. You've never had a job. You have nothing on the resume, but yet you have property. How did you get these mortgages, Jill? When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call Revenue Canada and let them know that you are maybe you're filing taxes, maybe you're not, but I think they need to look into you. And then I'm going to call every single bank and report you. Every mortgage you've ever had, they can go in and they can look at it. But you have a current mortgage that they're going to care about. They're probably not going to do it for mortgages that are closed. And you can explain where you work. They can take a physical visit to your workplace because you're a fucking liar. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to call the police. And we're going to find out why you're flying out all the time so much, Jill. And that insurance claim that you made, and you asked me for receipts for my designer bag so you can use it for that claim. How far are you into that claim? I'm going to do this starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning because you feel very entitled to my fucking energy, Jill. Jill does not like me. Jill's a little nervous of me. She had to sell that house and she's very careful. This is how you deal with lunacy. These are fucking criminals. Excuse my language. These are criminals. You cannot let people get away with stepping over the line one time. I have a post. It says, if you let them shenan once, they're going to shenan again. Shenanigans. They're going to always come with shenanigans. Okay? You let somebody skate once, they're going to go figure skating in your life. I happen to have figure skates in all colors. I know a lot about skating. I don't like people to threaten me because I do things the right way. People think I do everything by the books and I'm a goody two-shoes. Yes, I am. Because I don't like people holding things over my head. I work hard for everything, so I don't let anybody take it away from me. My peace being the primary one. That lady probably sent 2,500 text messages. After that, I've never heard from her again, and I know she sold the property. And I know that they don't like me. Because I can actually go to the police. I don't have a record. I don't do anything wrong. I can be followed by police and detectives and private investigators because I don't do anything wrong. So, this is how you deal with people. And you know, I told her I was going to do that. You know, just go ahead and do it and don't even tell them. Never let people harass you from a place of peace. Let them harass you when auditors are drilling a hole in their behind saying we need documentation starting from 1984. We need all of it. By the way, here's a scroll that rolls across a football field of missing documents that we need. We need accounting for every penny. We need receipts. Oh, you don't have it? That's too bad. We'll sue you in court. And that's just the government. That doesn't include the other shit that's going to go on. Light a fire. And then spray it with gas. And then pray. This is all before you pray. And then pray. Don't ever let anybody play any games with you. I mean that. And I'm going to help you guys develop a 100-point list of how to send the bombs back, because people should not be harassing you from a place of peace. If they want to harass you, they got to do it from an inferno, from a fire. Then it is fair. That's how I feel about it. So in some ways, I am a master of chaos when provoked. It is what it is. I'm not really interested in anybody's opinion about it. You shouldn't have done it. That's my tagline. If I were a product or a company, and you know how everybody has a tagline, my tagline would be like, what's Nike's tagline is just do it. My tagline would be you shouldn't have done it, because I don't you can't make peace with me when you cross me. I'm like a robot. I'm just not programmed for forgiveness in that. Like, no. You took aggressive action against me, sought to destroy me. We're at war. When people are at war, they don't have peace. Maybe they have peace treaties, but I don't work that way. We got to finish it. So it is what it is. Protect yourself. Number 9, they coddle your lowest nature. They make an environment that is very comfortable to the lowest part of you. So they want to find out what your vices are, what your tricks are, and they want to support it. If it's that the sex addictions that they build in, like I said, everybody in there has a sex addiction, a porn addiction, some type of addiction. Whether it's drug use, they want to feed you drugs. Whether it's insecurities that you have, they poke at it so badly that you start getting plastic surgery, you start doing all of this extra stuff. They push you as a woman, if you're insecure, to use your looks to appeal to men. When you as a woman, men are supposed to respect you for who you are as a person. And now you present yourself in a very lustful energy all the time to men. So all of the women in there, they all look the same. They all look like little baby prostitutes. And then they look like old prostitutes, 40 plus, and they're still clinging. They make you constantly look for validation. The men in there are always looking for validation through the money that they have. It's not through their personality or any winning qualities or traits. They're not promoting character development. They always want you to be the lowest version of yourself, and they see you healing and growing and being kinder and looking to improve yourself and develop yourself. They try to knock it down, and if they can't do that, then they get rid of the person or the people, places, or things that they feel like are influencing you to grow. They want you to be the lowest version of yourself. If it's pride that you have, if you're insecure of, you have issues that you've told, because remember, there are people that came in that got information, so you tell them about the worst stories. Oh, I was raped when I was younger, I had a near-death experience, or whatever it is, or someone cheated on me, or someone lied to me. They will use those situations to keep poking at that insecurity all the time. They will make people do it to you over and over again. They do all of these things, so they use the information against you, and they want to keep you in the lowest version of yourself. They want to keep you insecure, keep you in addictions. Even if you're just a very prideful person, big ego, they want to keep you in that place. They will coddle you to keep you there because they can control you from that place. Once you heal it, once you are humble, once you are kind, a good person, they can't trigger that in you anymore. They can't trigger that memory. So they want to trigger the past. When I went through gang stalking, I had to heal those insecurities very quickly. Heal those things about me that I realized people would have used to hold me back. I had to heal it very quickly. One thing that they tried to talk about was I was a teen mom, and they tried to talk about how early I had my kids. I healed that a long time ago. I love my children. I'm so grateful that I have them. I live for them. I'm a mother first. And I'll tell anybody that I was a teen mom. I don't regret it. I think it was part of my life path. It taught me a lot. It kept me on the right path. It made me very responsible very early. It made me very determined and very serious about my life. And I don't think I would be where I am today if that didn't happen to me. However, I'm very happy. I have amazing kids and we grew up together. Who the hell is going to tell me about being a mother? And my kids had amazing lives, like amazing lives, you know, like they lost nothing. They didn't want for anything. I've always been a successful person. So I don't know. They just needed to say something. They would just say whatever they needed to say. It's like, you're a crackhead. You're literally, you do crack. Who cares if I'm a mom? I'm an amazing mom who doesn't do crack. Amongst other nonsense that these people do, these are criminals. These are seasoned criminals. So it's like, they admire you low-key and they want to be you low-key, and then they say these kind of things about you and to you. So just like, you got to let it go early. And the last one, number 10, illusions. They love to pretend this isn't happening. And the biggest way they do that is that other people don't know that it's happening. The people that they've planted in don't know that they're plants. Not everybody knows the full story. They create a lot of fake scenarios around you, a lot of lies, a lot of illusions. And there's a lot of strings being pulled behind the scenes. They bring you the person that you're going to have kids with. And this person comes in blatantly just to have a kid with you. They bring you the person that you're going to have contention with, and this person comes just to have contention, so that this is the fighter who's going to fight you. They brought me the makeup artist who was going to beat me up, if you will. Be careful of these people. Anybody going through gang stalking, you will see that there's a lot of illusions. That is part of what they do. They make you think everything is fake until you start doubting your own existence, doubting everything you know. You got to be firm. You got to be strong. I talk about walking the middle path, meaning that you're a very kind person with humanity, but you take no crap. Take no crap, or these people are going to run all over you. Make decisions for yourself. You don't need advice from people. You don't need spiritual advisors. I myself do not call myself a spiritual advisor. I give help. But you've been having spiritual advice from God, whether you knew it or not, your entire life. God doesn't need help now. So take your time with yourself. Trust your intuition. That is the voice of God. Your intuition is not a voice. If you're a tarot reader and you hear voices in your head that give you advice, it's a great skill to have, but you can hear other voices too. Excuse me, your intuition is not a voice that anyone can fake. No one can fake a gut feeling. That's the truth. We all have it. So no one can fake a conscience. Excuse me. So this is what you have to listen to above all. Intuition is the softest voice. It'll say, I don't think I should put that there. Listen to it. Listen to it. Listen to your better mind is what we call it. Your better mind. And get into habit of thinking for yourself no matter what you hear, where you hear it, and from who you hear it from. You are being gang stalked. You cannot trust your mother, brother, sister, no one. People are terrifying out here. Even other people being gang stalked, they're going to look for the weaker person that's being gang stalked, and they're going to take that person away from being gang stalked, make friends with them, and use that person against you. Anybody, they will use anybody at any time. Be careful. You got to be two strong people to fight against gang stalking together. You really got to be sure about people. So if God mandates you a friend, a spouse, a cousin, a sister, you're lucky. You're one of the lucky ones, because most people got to go this alone. They are studying us the way that we study them, even more so, because they have access to hack devices, to follow you around, to monitor you, to do all of these things. So the information I'm giving you, they're schooling people and having conversations about you the same way that I'm sharing this information live. And I go through so much in my lives for people not to get this information. Take what you can, take what resonates with you, and leave the rest. Like they say in the tarot community, take what works for you and leave the rest. Thank you guys for staying with me throughout this live. Actually, Safi, can you pass me my spirit message cards, please? Please, please, please. I'm gonna do spirit message cards, messages from spirit. I'm getting more consistent about doing that. By the way, I'm gonna do, as a cover for this video, I'm gonna do the 10 points that I spoke about. It's the one that says spirit messages. It's in the black box with blue writing.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna put thank you, a graphic on this that has the 10 points written out, so it's gonna be easy to find on my page. And you can rewatch it as need be, to kind of see what is gonna, you know, resonate with you, what you can take from it. I got one already. So it says, learn to ride the waves of life. When faced with difficult times, you can either fight against the current or go with it. So ask yourself, what is to be gained by depleting your energy and fighting against it? Don't do that to yourself. By the way, there's 8 people in the live. Guys, if you can please like the video and share it, that really helps the channel grow, because you know, for gang stalking information, we are shadow banned. Our pages don't grow like normal. I've been on here giving such good information. I still have only 170 subscribers, so it would greatly help. In regards to this card about riding the waves and not depleting your energy, let me tell you, I have been fighting this process for so long, and in the last little while, I've just given up, because I've just been tired of constantly fighting against, well, this is happening and that is happening and whatever. I just gotta let it go. I just gotta leave it alone. Let it be. It is what it is. What can I do? And that's the way that I address it. What can I absolutely do? So I leave it at that. Trust your process. Flow through this process. It's going to be done when it's going to be done. It's going to get easier when it's going to get easier. People are just going to get tired of gang stalking you, or something's going to come to it. But I just want to let you know that it's impossible for gang stalking to be forever. It is impossible. So I got 3 more. I'm going to read all of them. I just take them because I feel like if it comes out, it comes out. So the first one says, make it your mission to accept all parts of you, the good and what you perceive to be your imperfections. Don't look for any outside validation. It's already within you. Once you realize your true beauty and potential, you will never doubt yourself again. These people will try to say all kinds of things about you. You gotta love yourself. This was one of the biggest things I had to learn through gang stalking, is you have to love yourself. Gang stalkers do not love themselves, or else they wouldn't be doing this kind of thing. They wouldn't be drawn into doing this kind of thing. It takes something to trigger inside of you to go against people like this. I don't care what anybody tells me. What was it that made you think that this was okay? So accept all parts of you, because they will gaslight you. They'll tell you, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're that. You're an amazing person. You're precious. Spirit loves you. And let me just say, you do not need to earn love. Like, love is free. So you don't need to be anything to be loved. Supported. People who love you fight for you. People who love you go to great lengths for you. That's it. There's nothing more to it. So, you know, if you're going through gang stalking and you're looking at yourself, you haven't been taking care of yourself, you're judging yourself, people are making fun of you, you can get back to taking yourself. This is the first time I'm doing makeup in a long time. This is the first time that I'm getting back to myself that I used to be from a long time ago, from years, you know, past. You're going to have your phases. I have other videos where I talk about taking care of yourself again, loving yourself again, feeling good about yourself again. When you feel good about yourself on the inside, it shows on the outside. Be confident in yourself and know that you do not need to earn anyone's approval. Seriously. I like this one. You're not moving too slowly. Drop the self-imposed pressure. You are at the sweet spot between taking care of yourself and still making advancements on your goals. On this path, there is no such thing as being behind. Smile, breathe, and carry on. I have had to learn, don't get up on 3 hours of sleep to force yourself to do things. It's going to take what it's going to take. You can sleep in some days if you need it because you worked really hard. Look at me now doing work into the night. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. I'm going to take the day off. I'm going to celebrate my mother. Take care of yourself. Have a day off. Have time off. If you don't do it, the universe will do it for you. They will knock things out of your hands. They will make things stop. Don't take that time to beat yourself up at home. Relax. Have a good day. Get roses for the altar. Cook a nice meal for the altar. Take care of yourself. Get back to yourself. It is important. And the last card, instead of pushing yourself so hard, stop, breathe, and reevaluate. You are doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It is not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. Somebody needed to hear that. I needed to hear that in the beginning of the year. I am now figuring out spiritually why things couldn't work. If you're in a spiritual binding, you shouldn't be making anything right now anyway, because you're going to lose all of it. So if you want to keep what is yours, they need to stagnate things. They're going to take care of you in the meantime. You're going to be fine. You need to truly, 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 truly believe that. You're going to be taken care of. You're never going to starve. You're never going to be homeless. If you're watching this, it's not going to happen. Pray. It's not going to happen. It's not in the cards for you. It doesn't happen that way. Especially if you're walking with God throughout this journey, it's not going to happen. You're going to be fine. And especially if you have some sort of savings, watch your spending, reduce your spending, get rid of anything that is over and above, no luxuries at this time. Your breakthrough, sometimes your breakthrough is in 3 days. You could literally have a breakthrough tomorrow. You have no idea. That's how breakthroughs work. Keep going at it. Keep grinding. Don't beat up yourself. You're going to look back and you'll be like, I was so silly for this. Look at me now. And I've learned that lesson over the years. So many times I thought the bottom was falling out of my life, and it wasn't. So thank you to everybody who hung in there with me. And I'm going to ask again, please give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel for more information, and please share on your platforms so people following you, if you have subscribers, can see as well. I thank you guys. Have a great night, and God loves you. And tomorrow is Mother's Day. Put some roses on the altar and some chocolates and some candy and some really nice desserts, etc., etc., etc. Have a good night.